Hey there, and welcome to Love After Divorce, the place for women who are looking for a great relationship after a divorce or a breakup. Today, you're going to hear a story that is very familiar to so many women. In fact, I'm guessing this may be the situation you're in right now. Today, I'm going to tell you a story about a woman who is currently dating. Picture this: a woman, let's call her Leslie. She's 43 and lives in upstate New York. She's an art dealer, and Kandinsky is her favorite artist. In case you don't know who that is, he was an abstract expressionist. Feel free to Google. Leslie is about 5'4" and loves to wear the color red. Her favorite albums are by Dave Matthews Band, and she's seen them in concert 32 times. She's been divorced for 2 years and has been on dating sites for the past year. And her dating profile is super fun. She tells a few funny stories about her horrible gardening skills, and she has great profile pics, including one with her sweet Labradoodle, Monet. She has 3 kids who are teenagers, pretty much doing their own thing. And Leslie has been on lots of dates. She's been on about 35 dates in the past year. Some of these guys were toads she'd never go on a second date with, like the guy who told her about the booger collection he's had since the 10th grade, or the doctor who took her to a picnic and was butthurt, as my kids would say, because other people drank some of the Coke he brought to the party. In fact, he was so pissed that he carried the stupid bottle of Coke so nobody else could drink it. Leslie was mortified. Or how about the guy who farted on purpose so loud it reverbed off the vinyl booth seat and made a toddler cry? So yeah, she's had some real first date humdingers. But lots of her first dates were great, like her last date. His name is Jake, and they chatted back and forth for about a week before their first date. She was so excited to meet him because his messages were always funny and charming. He was just a few years younger and also had a few kids. In fact, she knew she wanted to date a man with kids. Excuse me. She loves guys who are good dads. She loved his dating profile because he didn't take himself too seriously. To say she was excited about the date is an understatement. They planned to meet at the new Thai place in town. And even though she had a closet full of clothes, she really wanted to get something new to wear. So she went to a local boutique and got a beautiful new blouse. And of course, it was red and orange and yellow. She had some great bell bottoms to go with it, but really needed help picking out the perfect pair of shoes to wear with it. So one of her girlfriends came over and watched the Parade of Shoes fashion show until they landed on just the right pair of red leather pumps. She also made sure to get in with her hairstylist because she really needed a touch-up on the roots. And she even went to Ulta and got a new shade of MAC lipstick, Ruby Woo. Then she picked out the perfect pair of silver earrings and a funky necklace she got at an art show. And she even got new underwear. She had no plans on sleeping with Jake, but just like your mom says, in case you get into a car accident. She woke up super pumped the day of the date. She wasn't meeting him until 7, but she left work early and started getting ready at 4. So at about 6:30, she drove to the Thai place. She got there a bit early because she really hated being late. So she sat in her car for about 10 minutes, and then there he was, Jake in the flesh. And damn, he looked even better in person. She watched him walk into the restaurant, then waited about 1 minute before getting out of her Mini Cooper and walking in to find him sitting at the bar. She thought she might puke. So she took a deep breath and walked over to where he was. He immediately jumped out of his seat and gave her a hug. Things were off to a good start. After about 20 minutes, they moved to a table. They were having such a great conversation. The server had to check in 3 times before they were actually ready to order. So the food came. Leslie always gets drunken noodles when she eats at Thai places, and Jake got pad Thai. But she doesn't really remember much about the food because she was so distracted by the conversation. Jake was even more fun in person. He told funny stories about growing up in rural Kansas, and Leslie was super impressed by what a great listener he was. She told a few stories about her life growing up in New York and a few stories about some vacations she'd taken with her kids in Orlando. Then after about an hour and a half, they were done eating and it was time to head home. So Jake walked Leslie out to her car. He was super gracious and thanked Leslie for coming out and gave her a lovely hug goodbye. Leslie drove home on cloud nine and sent Jake a text thanking him for dinner. He texted back and said how nice it was to meet her. Then 2 days passed and she hadn't heard from Jake, which really surprised her because they got along so well. So she sent him a text saying she'd love to see him again. And like a gentleman, he texted back a few hours later saying that he loved meeting her, but that he didn't think they were a good fit. And Leslie was stunned and pissed and hurt and really confused. Leslie had been convinced that she and Jake had hit it off big time, and she was really down on herself because this had happened before, numerous times. There were at least 10 dates where she got home thinking that everything had gone great, only to find that the men didn't feel the same way. Most of them responded to her with some version of, "I don't think we're a match." So here's the problem. Women are meeting great men who don't want to see them again. And it's a problem because women like you want partners and don't have them. It's a problem because time is being wasted in many ways. I mean, who wants to waste time finding a partner? Nobody, because the sooner you get to your happily ever after, the better. And who wants to waste time planning for dates that lead nowhere? Nobody, right? It takes a lot of time to chat back and forth to see if you even want to go out with this person. It takes time to get the date set up. It takes time to plan what you're going to wear and all that jazz. And the date itself takes time. So 2 problems must be solved. 1, you don't have a great partner. And 2, you're wasting time. And that's where a coach comes in. I help you figure out exactly why you aren't getting second dates with great guys. Just like I talked about in the last podcast regarding step 1, identify the things you say or do that repel the good guys. We have to figure out what is turning them off. We have to identify what's standing in between you and the happily paired you. Just going on lots of dates is not the answer. Your success in keeping a great guy is not based on luck. It's based on skill. And here's why I'm telling you this. It's because wonderful women aren't getting what they want. Wonderful women are wasting time alone or with the wrong guy instead of living a fun and adventurous life with the man of their dreams. Wonderful women are not yet experiencing the joy that comes with having a great partner in crime. You may be one of those women. Your beauty and power isn't being expressed. Instead, something else is in the way and it's repelling men without you even knowing it. And some women already know something about them is coming off wrong. They know they aren't putting their best foot forward, but they're not sure what to do about it. If any of this sounds familiar, I can help. I'd love to help. It's my life's mission to help. If you listen to the first 2 episodes, you'll know that I was also in the same boat with you. I used to be where you are now. I went through 1 divorce and then attracted a man who would become ex-husband number 2. And then I finally figured it out. I attracted husband number 3, and he is a keeper for sure. But to get from ex-husband number 2 to husband number 3 took some special skills, and I can help you get those skills. Schedule a free call with me at therebuildingcoach.com. During the call, you'll get an actual diagnosis about what's preventing you from finding and keeping a lasting love. Until next time, I'm Dawn Ziegler, and this is Love After Divorce.